this is Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast, it's a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because they said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then they said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows. I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show.
Here we are, everybody. Yeah, Emma, what good movies have you guys seen lately? I don't know. I've been dreading talking about this offense, this team, this performance on Monday night for a while now. Not looking forward to it. But we are going to do it. We are here. This is Lombardi's Bar, and that is what we signed up to do to ourselves. What's up, Jay? Everyone, the beautiful degenerates joining us in the chat and with us here on Lombardi's Bar. I'm your bartender, Dan Kotnick. Thank you for joining us. We'll talk this all out. We'll have a nice little bitch therapy session and then talk about beating the Giants. That's what we're going to do. True North. Yeah, Jimmy skipped town last week, but his bitch ass is here to talk about the Eagles game. Jimmy, Todd, jump in here. How are we feeling, guys? What's the vibe? Where are we? What the fuck was Monday night?
Great defense.
I
Give
don't
it that
even
at least.
care anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just a broken man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure why Jimmy is in the bathroom. Jimmy, do you care to explain that before we start?
I'm still in the condo in Florida, and I'm in our kitchen right now. So it was either the fridge or the pull-out mattress. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do this bathroom mirror behind me, what it looks like. I am on a kitchen table. I promise.
Why is there a kitchen table in front of the toilet?
Well, haven't you ever wanted to eat and shit at the same time?
Set it on my lap like a man.
Legally, I don't have to answer that.
I'm curious which one is the sexual Tyrannosaurus and which one's the Uber driver, because it feels like it could go either way.
Oh,
I just know neither of those is about me, apparently. Man, yeah, Todd, I'm kind of with you. Like, I went into Monday night with low expectations, and they met them.
Yep,
they met the very low expectations, and I'm of the opinion now. Like, I'm basically almost like, let's fast forward to the end of the season and start getting ready to get closer to a healthy Tucker Kraft and new people on the offensive line, because I'm kind of checked out on this.
Are you game planning for draft position yet?
I hadn't even thought about that, to be honest, yet. But I mean, you only got 5 wins on the season right now, and you've got a hell of the rest of the schedule coming up. That's not out of the. The thing is, though, it really doesn't fucking matter, really, because the draft position only kind of matters when you have a first round pick, and you don't have a first round pick.
I mean, it matters in the other rounds too.
A little bit, but I mean, really,
pick 33 considerably better than pick somebody in the match 60, whatever.
Sure, but yeah, I'm kind of just checked out on all of it at this point now. I'm more interested and concerned about who's going to be left over on this team moving forward, player and coaching staff wise. That's what I'm more preoccupied with at the moment, because it feels like there's going to be some changes. At least I think there should be changes coming in.
If things don't change, I think there will be some changes.
I imagine, like, I don't see, yeah, I don't see LaFleur getting fired after this year, like, unless we miss the playoffs, which, if you think about it, we have to go, like you said, it's our toughest part of the schedule. 5-3 should get us there, because then we're 10-6-1. Like, we should be able to make the playoffs with that record. It just sucks that now we're at the tough part and we used up 2 of our losses to garbage teams. And so now looking at the rest, like, it's going to be a tough slate, but I don't see LaFleur getting fired. I think if anything, even if we make the playoffs, like Adam Stenovich at this point, like, maybe bring in an offensive coordinator where you can point out what they do. And I forgot who I was listening to, but they were saying too, like, the OC's job is, when it comes, if you have the play caller as the head coach, yours to make sure, like, everyone's on their P's and Q's. And we've had just misalignments. We started doing 6 offensive linemen this last game. We finally got a big chunk play to Christian Watson. That's called back because our 6 offensive linemen messed up in the alignment. And it's just the last play of the game, even though they stuffed it, like, we lined up wrong on that play. I still have faith. I don't think I'm as down in the dumps as you guys. Like, I think we're still a playoff team. I think LaFleur can get it fixed. We have Reed coming back, but
do you really want to make the playoffs?
Yes. I always want to make the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? You want to see, like, this offense? Like, if this is the type of offense that rolls out the rest of the season,
this type of offense is not going to make the playoffs, which means they're going to have to play a hell of a lot better to make the team as they've been playing the last couple of weeks is not making the playoffs. I want to see them play better, and in which case they can make the playoffs, and it'll be a much better experience.
But do you actually expect this offense to make the playoffs?
Yeah,
we get better.
Seen them play at a very high level.
But that was with a healthy Tucker Kraft. It was with a healthy Romeo Dobbs, a not banged up offensive line. I do not see a way forward for this offense.
Christian Watson didn't play in those games. Like, there's a number of things that come and go. And the nice thing, what I see is it comes down to timing and rhythm that just doesn't seem to be there. And those are things I think teams can adjust for and figure out. The biggest issue is the drops and the missed opportunities. It really does seem like if Jordan Love isn't hitting these guys perfectly in their hands, they're not going to catch it. I mean, it has to be even Romeo, who, you know, we have seen have pretty solid hands. There were multiple passes that were just off target, just out of he had that one late in the game that he had the defender right in front of him, and Jordan put it in the one spot it could be. And, like, those are catches that top receivers are bringing in. Your top hands, your possession receivers are bringing in, and he just dropped it. And it's like, yeah, it's a tough play, but you got to make that. And there's a ton of plays like that when you stack them up, that changes the entire trajectory of the game. I mean, even going back, I saw a video from the Carolina game that it came down to a handful of plays. That game was not nearly as bad as it looked to be. You take the Savion fumble out of it, you add 3 points there. You take the McManus miss, you had 3 points there. Like, they're a few plays away. They just don't have anybody right now that's making those plays. And I think that will come down the stretch.
I think my favorite play from the game, though, is Christian Watson going into defense mode and then the ball hitting him right in the helmet before the corner. Like, should have been a giant chunk play. And he called it out. So it's not bashing him. He called it out on Twitter, too. For some reason, retweeted Ike Packers, the dumbest account. But he, like, even said, too, like, yeah, I should have caught that. But he went straight defense, hit him in the back of the head. It's like the dumb moments like that have defined the season. And to your point, Dan, though, about like this, and Todd said it too.
Did his dad have anything to say about him being negative on Twitter?
No, it was our fault that he did that, probably.
Yeah.
But like to Todd's point too, like the offense isn't playing at the level yet to be a playoff team, but our defense has been playing so well. And like the Eagles have struggles, but still holding that talented offense to 10 points. All it takes is for us, we don't even need to be top 10 at this point with the way the defense is playing. If we get to like 10 to 15, like we are a team that can do damage in the playoffs because our defense is so strong. So like it takes the Toyota-thon Jordan Love, like a moment where he just gets hot and the offense gets going and you can go on a run. So there's the talent there to do it.
You guys have a lot more faith in what this offense can become, because to me this is not, you know what, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the segments. That's when we'll break it down. Let's do that. We do this sometimes, especially in losses where we just end up bitching about everything and don't get the actual parts of the show. Let's start off positive. Let's go to buy around. Todd, who would you like to buy around for today?
Friend of show, Elton Jenkins. He was having a tough year. Was looking like it was probably going to be his last year in Green Bay, unless he really started to figure out how to play center. Had been struggling with that, and then broke his leg. I think he had surgery today, or is having surgery this week. Most likely out for the rest of the season. Sounds like they're an outside shot at the playoffs, but just tough to see. He's such a good dude, and to have it go out like this, that it's now not playing good and then having a season-ending injury, just feel for the dude. So I'll buy around for Alton.
Yeah, it sucks. And you hit on it. There's a real chance that was his last snap, unless he comes back in a playoff game like that. It's highly likely that's his last snap as a Packer, unless he takes a massive pay cut next season. Cause I think his cap it's definitely in the 20 million. So yeah. And LaFleur is saying it too. And he said, it's highly unlikely. It's a shame because he's such a good leader. And it's everything that you just said, Todd, too. Like, great guy, great leader in the locker room. It sucks if he goes out like this. Maybe he'll be back next year. We've seen players take cuts and everything, but even if he is back, I pray to God it's not at center. I want to see Elton Jenkins in his natural habitat at guard. But yeah, it definitely sucks.
Yeah, Iowa Joe kind of touched on it. I think there needs to be a change up on offensive line. Guys are playing playing out of position. Like Rasheed Walker is supposed to be right tackle. Like Jordan Morgan is supposed to be left tackle. This is even before Elton Jenkins' injury. Yeah, I did pick up on that. Yeah, phrasing about snap there, Jimmy, with the leg situation. But
my bad.
Yeah, it feels like everyone is sort of just playing like their secondary position, and no one. I mean, even outside of that, like guys that are like Aaron Banks isn't playing up to his level, but sticking to Elton Jenkins, yeah, it's rough to see anyone go down with an injury like that. You know, he's been a stalwart. He's been one of the guys for a while. That sucks to see. Jimmy, who would you like? Sorry, go ahead.
On the opposite side of this, what drugs do you think they gave Lane Johnson for him to be able to come back into the game? Because he looked like he was gone for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's back.
Whatever they gave Rodgers to come back in that Bears Sunday night game, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they gave him.
Dude, it had to be. My buy the round, I try to think of just one player who's right now after a game like that just consistently has been showing up this year. And it has been one that we've, myself included, he's been pay the tab multiple times his rookie year. But Quay Walker, dude, like he's on a different level this season. And it kind of sucks now looking back that we did not pick up his 5th-year option, because it looks like now there's potential he priced himself out of Green Bay with just obviously Michael Parsons and some of the other contracts that we have and decisions we have to make. But dude, Quay Walker, he's been having by far his best season. And a lot of the problems of like first step is in the wrong spot, taking himself out of position. Like you finally see him flying around as we expected when they drafted him. And I don't know. I feel like you can't say enough of good things about him to where all the hype was around Edgerrin Cooper at the beginning of the season and just his step forward. And I think Quay Walker has taken the spotlight of being the best linebacker we have. And Edgerrin Cooper is still a really good player, but he's right now, to me, behind Quay Walker as at linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he's out of. You could almost argue out of any Brian Gutekunst draft pick, first round pick, from where he started and where he is now, might be one of the biggest jumps that we saw from one of his first round picks. Like that first year for Quay Walker was rough. Like there was talk about his temper and his headspace, and can he even play at an NFL level? And now he's running your defense. He's been running your defense for 2 years, and you can tell he's thrived under Jeff Hafley. So yeah, the guy comes out and balls every single week. He had that amazing play on Saquon late in the game, which was just that's the Quay Walker we want to see.
Well, and I think we not having the show after the Steelers game, we didn't get an opportunity to talk about Quay's maturity in that one, because for a guy who, again, going back to his rookie year, was shoving coaches and trainers from opposing teams to literally getting poked in the eye on the field and not reacting. Yeah. Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, Quay Walker's going to kill him, man. This is the last time we ever see Quay Walker play football. So I like DK and Quay. I think that would be a really fun fight to watch. Jimmy would invite himself over to my house to watch it and then fall asleep before that fight happened.
It's true.
But shout out to Quay for the progression he's made on the field and with his maturity.
Who's scarier, Myles Garrett with a helmet in his hand, or rookie season Quay Walker with a coaching staff of the opposing team?
Trainer on the field.
I don't know, man. That Myles Garrett moment, I think that's going to be one of, like, when I'm on my deathbed and my last neurons are firing, that moment might be one of the things that flashes across, because that was iconic. And it was also really great because Mason Rudolph was a dick, and I'm so glad it happened to him. And I'm so glad he was fine, because if he had been like seriously hurt, then you can't laugh at it anymore. But he was totally fine, so it's cool. And
no, we still would have laughed at it, Dan.
Fair.
My favorite tweets about that actually came last year, when it was obviously Myles Garrett said he said some words that no person should say, and that's what kind of sparked him to do the helmet. And everyone's like, "Oh, we don't know." And then you saw him at a certain pep rally in 2024, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, he definitely said it." And so that was it took a few years to get there, but my favorite tweet finally came.
Yeah, we all know. We all knew.
Yeah.
Cue somebody adding.
I'm not going to call.
To
I'm not going to call Myles Garrett a liar.
No.
I will take his word for whatever he said.
Whoever's got the saved PowerPoint or Photoshop file of me and all of my buddies at the Capitol, looking forward to adding Mason Rudolph to that picture. I was like, yep, there it is. It's still the Ryan Day Ryan Day looks like he's just in the fucking crowd. That's the one that gets me every time.
I think it was the original one that Kelsey actually messaged me and reminded me that you have a baby at the house, and then I can't tag the FBI in any tweets.
I'm gonna buy a round for Micah Parsons today. To come, it was a rough game against Carolina for sure. I think he came out, played absolutely fantastic against the Eagles. And also, I mean, I'll just say this. This is to kind of undercut it a little bit. Buy a round for him because the guy came here, has reinvigorated this defense, and
he's reinvigorated me.
You just said at the start of the show you don't care anymore.
You said
without Micah Parsons, I would have stopped caring in week 3 when we had a fucking mini bye, and then played 2 shitty games and had another bye.
Fair enough.
He's having to answer questions like basically about his shitty offense, and it's like, how much does that change from what he was doing in Dallas at a certain point? Where it's like, hey, Micah, we know that you're like an all generational talent, and you're carrying this defense on your back, and it's everything's good, but the fuck's going on over there, buddy? And he's having to answer questions like he's like the head coach or something. So good on you, Micah, because you're one of the few bright spots so far this season.
Thank God he's had a lot of training with that. Like you said, it's just he knows the media talk.
At least he doesn't have to his press conference isn't like the lead in for the Jerry Jones press conference anymore.
Oh,
so
he doesn't have to worry about whatever he says, an owner walking out right behind him and saying the exact opposite thing,
right,
which is nice. I don't know if you guys caught the comments he made about Marshawn Nealon too. Just opening up, talking about mental health. There's obviously an issue in the NFL with that. And so seeing somebody like him, especially, I mean, they were just teammates, right? Like they were playing together. So to see him be able to go out and still perform and then have some insightful words to share, I thought that was a solid spot for him to come in.
Yeah. And he's an incredibly well-spoken guy. He represents the brand very well. So I'm glad to have him.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who would you like to have pay the tab this week?
Yeah, at this point, Lucas Haversick. Like, dude, you are not getting substitute teacher money anymore. You're getting some game day checks, not having to do anything. You should be kicking. They're not making you. You have the money to pay the tab. Pay the tab. I don't know why you're not kicking. I wish you were, but we're keeping you around for some reason. So he can pick up the tab for everybody.
I'm confused what this is.
This is like when we bring on a guest who's never seen the show before, and we just put them on the spot, and they're like, this, and we're like, oh, we didn't explain the bit.
Yeah. What
are you doing?
What's your
pay
angle?
the tab? You're paying the tab. He's just on
because
a
he
roster.
He has money.
Nothing. He has money now because we're
he's
keeping
the
around to
lowest
do
paid
nothing.
person on the team.
We're keeping around to do nothing. He should be kicking. I'm mad that he's not starting. We're keeping him around just for shits and giggles at this point.
Do you think there's maybe another
he
kicker
could just
who's
pay the tab?
actually hurting the team that might be making more money that could pay the tab?
It's a spin-off of the title pay the tab. I'm trying to say he should be playing. We're not playing him, but we're paying him to be on the roster.
We get
He
what
should
you're
doing
trying
a great
to do.
job,
It should not
landing
work.
Sully.
Yeah. We understand what you're doing. It's just
Fuck
not
off,
working.
guys. All right, well, A for effort.
Yeah,
I hope
I don't
McManus
even
is
think
done
it's an
forever.
A for effort. Like
this is barely putting your name at the top of the paper. I mean, let's talk about this situation. I'm so fucking fed up with Brandon McManus and everything. Like I posted this. I posted this today after Matt LaFleur said that they have full confidence, or whatever the phrasing was. They have confidence in McManus or whatever. There were two drives, two of the three deepest drives into Philadelphia territory. The third, the deepest one ended in the fumble. So the other two deepest drives were at the 40 and the 41-yard line of Philadelphia.
Are we not counting the deep drive that ended in the end zone?
Sure, that one too.
Okay.
Anyway, but you are down 3-0 in both of those instances. One time you punt from the 40-yard line, and the other time you go for it on 4th and 9, throwing to Bo Melton. Like, that doesn't scream confidence in a kicker to me. That's a 57, 58-yard field goal. That's basically almost that's well within the range of every qualified kicker in the NFL nowadays. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. People are nailing mid 60s at this point. It seems like almost every week. Like a 50-yard field goal is pretty much routine. Like yes, it's a little far, but we've gotten to the point where, yeah, people in the media talking about maybe they're going to narrow the field goal posts because we're hitting, like, people are hitting such long, not we, other people are hitting such long field goals. We go for it on 4th and 9. And granted, we should have converted it, but Bo Melton, who I now regret not putting as my pay the tab after that one did not go over well. Like, it should have been converted and we should have kept going, but just having a kicker that you can trust, dude, it's just insane.
I love this comment. Had the pass breakup on Monday. It was a pass to him, but he broke it up.
Todd, you should have bet 5.
Should have missed that one coming. I think the other thing, like, actually, Jimmy, to correct you, we have made those kicks. It's just that we don't let that guy kick anymore, and instead we make him pay the tab for not kicking anymore.
Yeah, because we're paying him to do nothing. He might as well pay it. He's getting paid. All I'm trying to say is we're keeping him on the roster for no reason. He should be playing. Either play him or cut him and then bring someone else in. It should be play. He should be playing.
Yeah.
Dan, I'm curious. Aaron mentioned earlier that you have a bet to settle up.
I don't. I was on Last Call Lambeau on Friday.
Yeah, I gathered that from the.
I honestly, I don't remember what it was. Aaron's gonna have to remind me. I do not remember what the bet was. I also don't have a shot in front of me. But anyway,
is Kelsey home? I'll try and get something delivered.
Did I really say over 3.5 tush pushes?
That sounds like you. You were all doom and gloom last week.
I'm all doom and gloom this week.
It was worse last week.
I will take a shot, Aaron. I will take a shot.
Was he talking
tonight.
about? Did he mention last week? Do you even want to make the playoffs?
No, not yet.
It's worse this week.
He knew better than to say it when it was just me. He thought maybe this week he'd get your ass to fucking buy in on it with him, but
that's fair. I am pretty impressionable.
What kind of webcam you got over there? Is it a potato? Or
yeah.
Listen, I am on my work computer in a terrible Wi-Fi location.
How long are you staying in Florida?
Give me a break. I come back on Saturday. Des and I realized that 3 weeks in Florida is way too long.
You're acclimating. She's realizing you're acclimating way too well.
She saw me buy needles and just saw them on the counter. Like, what are these for? It's like,
you never know about it. Never know. Just like to have some needles around.
This is a side note, but Winston's crazy ass today. We were they have like a sand volleyball court here, and there was a lizard, And he was like, oh, I'm going to catch it. Never thought he could catch it. His dumb ass grabbed it, and that lizard got pissed off and bit him on the finger. And then when he dropped it, ran on his foot and bit him on his foot. So we'll see how he is tomorrow.
Listen,
he's quicker than I thought. I give him credit. I was like, there's no way. It's either that or he picked the dumbest lizard in the world.
What kind of lizard is it?
I don't know. It was just a little black thing.
We've discussed this before. And I love Winston, and only a little bit of disrespect is intended with this comment. He's going to have a hard enough life the way it is. You can't let this kid spend time in Florida. It's just not good. That state's going to start rubbing off on him. Like you can't, he's at such a young, moldable and impressionable age. You can't take him back. Not for 3 weeks. You can't let him spend 3 weeks in Florida.
That's fair. That's fair. I have no rebuttal for that. I think that's a very solid point, and I will make sure that doesn't happen.
What's
again.
what's the weather like in Florida right now, Jimmy?
It honestly has been. Yesterday the high was like 59. It's been
that's
chilly.
why that's why the lizards
rough.
are slow. That's why the lizards are slow. It's getting cold out. They have iguanas. They have iguanas
pissed off
freezing
about the
and
weather.
falling from trees down there. Just ask Emma. The iguanas fall from the fucking trees. Everyone thinks they're dead. That's why he caught it. He needs to catch. He needs to catch a summer lizard. That's what I'm saying.
Right now, he's just basic.
Well,
right? I'm not gonna be impressed anymore. Tomorrow, I'm gonna tell him like, you know what? That was a fault. You suck. You're actually not fast at all. I'm gonna take back every compliment I gave him.
I'll go ahead with my pay the tab because it kind of rolls right into the Lucas Haversick scenario, and it's Matt LaFleur, and I've got it Matt LaFleur in perpetuity until he's no longer the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, because
are you calling for his job?
Fire LaFleur.
Wow.
I'm done. Let me ask you guys this.
This is the first one I've seen in real life. I thought these were all just dummy bot accounts.
What can you tell me makes Matt LaFleur a good head coach? What is it? What makes him a good head coach?
I mean, out of all the seasons, like this is his worst offensive season. Yes, I agree with you. But are we supposed to ignore the other seasons where like it's been a successful offense and he's been a great head coach? And now in a season where like there's multiple injuries to the wide receivers, the offensive line is not playing up to where there should, like the offensive line is bad. Are we all suddenly supposed to be like, you know what? LaFleur's not there. And like we even seen it this past week, like there were times like Jordan Love, he had open receivers, and it's gotten to the point where the offensive line is not performing like it should, and he's going off progressions too quick. He's scrambling more than he usually, or he's moving out of the pocket more than he usually does and rushing it to where like, yes, LaFleur, he calls things too conservative, and I hope that changes, but I'm not to the point where I'm going to negate all the success he's had. And we've seen like we're so close to these plays working and people are open. If we execute it the way we should, we'll be fine. To be like, he needs to be gone after this year. I feel like you can both be frustrated and also think firing LaFleur is a mistake.
Yeah, and we saw times even when Rodgers was here, like people want to say, give Rodgers all the credit for all of the wins before, which I was going to just let Dan do that, as Dan has repeatedly talked about how much that wasn't Aaron Rodgers. So those wins weren't Aaron Rodgers and they weren't Matt LaFleur. So we're not sure how Matt LaFleur won so many games before. But we saw instances even when Rodgers was here where the offense didn't look great at times and it would go into these funks. And I think teams do that. Like even the Eagles a few weeks ago weren't looking like a Super Bowl caliber team. They've flipped it around in the last couple of weeks. Their offense didn't look great the other night. Regardless, like on paper, it shouldn't matter who's on defense playing against that offense. That's a damn good team. And Matt continues to put together a team that goes out and competes. And unfortunately, at times they compete at the lower level of lesser competition, but they still go out and compete. And like Jimmy said, there's a lot of opportunities that are missed. And I don't know that you put those all on Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur didn't drop a single pass. Matt LaFleur didn't blow a single block. Like, I don't know what you want him to do in those situations, but I think a lot of that causes Matt LaFleur, I think, makes a lot of calls. A knock against him could be either out of emotion based in the game or how he's feeling in the game. Choosing to go for it in certain times when it doesn't really make sense. But also there might have just been something in the air because Sirianni going for it didn't really make sense either. So I think sometimes he just gets caught up in things like that. And it's like the staff that he has around him, I think he needs a refresh on that. I think that there's a case to be made there. But as far as calling for his job in the middle of a season is a wildly absurd thing to be doing.
Okay, hold on. I'm not necessarily saying he needs to be fired this week. That I'm not calling for his job in season. What I'm saying is I'm to the point now where I don't think there's anything that can bring me back from this point. So he's basically a lame duck head coach for the rest of the season. Let me lay my case out if I can just here. So you mentioned Sirianni. Last year, they had one of the best offenses in the NFL. Matt LaFleur, you mentioned it's a consistent thing throughout his tenure that this offense just fucks up. Like at least 25% of the time. It does it for some reason. It just doesn't work. And it was with Rodgers and it's with Love. I think that's the consistent pattern that I see, as opposed to like, well, last year Sirianni was great, and now this year it's not. I don't. That's not a pattern for me yet. This is a consistent pattern, and I also throw out the game management stuff. That's a consistent thing over several years now. Is that's part of his job as a head coach, is being able to manage the game well. He doesn't do that. He consistently doesn't get his team ready for big games and big moments. And I just think before there was a lot of opportunities where these shortcomings get glossed over with how well the offense would run. Some of that was credited to Rodgers. Sometimes it's just it's working. When we get to this point now where on fourth and the game, defenses know exactly what you're running because you're not changing anything. It just feels like the book is out on Matt LaFleur. I haven't seen him figure out something new with this offense. And you mentioned the players and the injuries. I get that. You were able to find ways to orchestrate an offense with Malik Willis. You're telling me you can't find a way to orchestrate an offense with a subpar offensive line and your starting quarterback? Like it just, I don't see what the value is he brings as a head coach at this point anymore. If the play calling was what he hung his hat on and you could kind of ignore everything else, if this isn't working anymore, I don't see what the harm is in bringing someone else in that changes the voice in the locker room.
Couldn't you argue that we should look at more of bringing in, at least first trying to bring in a different offensive coordinator, like someone that is going to be more of the P's and Q's and like having the play calling there, because the offensive coordinator could be the one, as they should. Like I said at the start of this, like when your head coach is the play caller and has that, like the OC it falls into. And I know you brought up the offense before under Rodgers, like it didn't get sloppy until we did like the youth movement that we did a few years ago. And like Rodgers last season, a lot of those mistakes happened. The 2 back-to-back MVP seasons, those mistakes weren't really happening. And so it's like, as much as I hate to give Nathaniel Hackett credit because he turned out to be a terrible head coach, we were thriving under that. And like right now, we did a panic promotion to Stenovich to move him from offensive line coach to OC because we didn't want him to go with Hackett to Denver. And since then, yes, like I agree, we have this trend of mistakes happening in the big moments, or we have these little mistakes.
Whose decision is all of those things? Whose decision is it to keep Rich Pisacci around? Whose decision was it to leave Joe Barry sitting around for as long as he did?
If you're going to argue to me the loyalty is a problem, I will 100% agree with you that he is way too loyal.
Those are his calls, and they harm his team.
No, that part I'm not arguing with. But the fact of like where the offense is stale right now, I agree. But we've seen in the past, LaFleur, he has made adjustments. And right now we're not even to Thanksgiving. So like I know we only have 8 weeks left in the NFL in the season, which is crazy to think about. But like if you listen to all like the national podcasts, when they bring in GMs, all of them say like football, you find out who you really are at Thanksgiving. As long as you're 500 at Thanksgiving, you're good. Right now, like we're talking about the team, like we're 3-5-1. We're 5-3-1. Like we're still in the playoff hunt. Things aren't working perfectly. We still have so much time to figure it out to where LaFleur can make adjustments. So like I understand, yes, there are frustrations, but it's not like burn everything. I know you're not saying fire him right now, but like my question to you, like how do you feel about the Buffalo Bills right now? How do you feel? Where do you feel they are in the NFL?
I think they're in the top quarter of the league,
and they just lost to the Dolphins. They're not first in their division.
Right. Okay.
They barely beat the Saints when they played them. But I'm saying this stuff happens in the NFL.
Right. But we're taking small instances like this. Were the Bills losing to the Dolphins like that last year or the year before that or the year before that? Like I see those teams consistently being there.
Good teams lose to bad teams all the time.
I know.
And also let's point out that the Packers just lost by 3 to the defending champs and probably one of the favorites to make it to the Super Bowl out of the NFC this year. Like they have a couple bad losses, but this is not a bad loss at the end of the day when you look at it. You gave up 13 points to the Eagles, who are a very good team.
You gave up 10 points to the Eagles, and you couldn't beat an NFL team that only scored 10 fucking points.
They also have a really good defense, Dan. Like they were the better team, and even that didn't look very good. So shout out to the defense. Let's hope that the offense figures it out and they make the playoffs, because this is a championship caliber defense. When Keyshawn Nixon wants to try and cover again.
Yeah, I think all the other instances that you point to in the league, they're one-off points trying to prove the point of what I've said is this has been a consistent issue.
Fuck your facts, Jimmy. Do not use facts. Do not use anything that's real. That doesn't matter. I'm not
saying fuck your facts. I'm saying that's a small sample size compared to the consistent things we've seen that never get changed. These decisions that keep happening that cost him games.
No, I agree.
And the Haversick decision is just spot on. Add it to the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, loyalty is a problem, and I agree with you 1,000%. But I'm saying next year, I would be more in the camp of keep LaFleur around, change some of the offensive position coaches if you need to, change the OC, and then try to run it that way. And if that doesn't work out, then yeah, fire LaFleur at that point because they made the changes there. But I'd rather keep LaFleur, who people look at not even just Packer fans or optimistic ones, but national media of like a top 10 play caller, even with the struggles this season. I'd rather run it back with him and change EOC and change position coaches than make a rash decision of like, we had a one struggling offense in the last 7 years. We need to change a head coach.
But aren't you just asking him to not do what he's always done, which is make bad decisions in his coordinator spots? Like outside of Nathaniel Hackett, what's worked? He continuously picks and sticks with bad picks overall. So what you're saying is
Halfley
now
worked.
So yeah, Halfley. There you go. There's
the new defensive lineman coach worked. The linebacker coach last year that got poached from the Dolphins worked.
Like and where are we now?
Examples of what worked.
Right, but you've got to replace. You've got to figure out. He doesn't have a good track record of doing that. And so what you're saying is just hope that it works out again next year. And we find ourselves at Thanksgiving and we're below 500 or whatever, and we're wasting year number 2 of Micah Parsons.
We're not even to Thanksgiving this year, and you're already giving us a losing record at Thanksgiving next year.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if
Dan, you are a real life Facebook fan group come to life. That's exactly what this is. Like, get out there, Boomer. Let them have it.
What I'm saying is if you are not confident in what Matt LaFleur brings to this offense,
then just trade Micah Parsons now.
You can't go into next year. You can't treat what I'm saying is you can't treat the next several years as, well, let's give him a try, see if we can figure it out, and then we'll go. Like, no, you have to know next year, this is the person I'm trusting for the next 3 to 4 years, because this is the Super Bowl window you've created with Micah Parsons and this defense.
Well, and they're going to. Ed Policy has said he's not going to have a lame duck coach next year. So either this gets figured out this year, this offense gets figured out, and the team turns things around, and Matt LaFleur is going to be your guy for the next 3 to 4 years at least, or things don't get turned around, and then they're going to be on the coaching search. Yeah, and from what I've seen, from the history that I've seen with Matt LaFleur, every coach has their things that their fan base, who watches obsessively and sees every game and knows all these little trends, every fan base has those with their coach. No coach is perfect. And I would rather ride with LaFleur than bring in someone else, because then you have the unknowns, and then you have, just like anytime any team hires a new coach, you have, well, we need a year for the quarterback to learn the system and for everybody to get on the same page. And so now you're wasting a year of Micah Parsons right there. So now, again, there's a losing record at Thanksgiving next year still.
Okay, so if Matt LaFleur gets next year, and then after next year you realize this isn't working, so now you get a new head coach the year after that, and so now you've wasted 2 years.
Which is why I just said trade Micah Parsons, because we're already wasting 2 years of him. Now we're going to be wasting 3. So why is he even here?
I'm saying what I'm arguing is against Jimmy's point of if next year is the same thing, you fire Matt LaFleur and you move on. What I'm saying is, for me, I've seen enough. I've seen the Matt LaFleur. I feel like I've seen the Matt LaFleur ceiling, and it's not Super Bowl. And so if I was going to make a move, I'm doing it now. I'm not waiting any longer.
So you do want him fired now?
After this year, yeah. I don't think he needs to be fired right now. It doesn't change anything.
Who do you want?
I don't know.
Top 3.
Well, that's the thing, though, is like we don't have a Ben Johnson right now in this, at least being talked about right now. We don't have a Ben Johnson where it's like, this is the coveted next head coach.
Who knew who Matt LaFleur was before he came?
And he's
who
a
Mike
terrible
McCar-
coach, though. Bad
knew-
example.
Who knew what Mike McCarthy was? Who Mike Holmgren was? These guys weren't the Ben Johnsons of their fucking era.
LaFleur's not a good
came in
example
and
of that
became head
because he
coaches.
was LaFleur's not a good example of that because he was under McVay with the Rams, and then he went to Tennessee and had the breakout with Derrick Henry. Like, people knew who LaFleur was. People were surprised we hired such a young head coach when we were looking at Josh McDaniel.
Hold on. When they fired Mike McCarthy, was everyone like, "Oh, good, like time now we can go after Matt LaFleur"?
No,
Not to the same level as Ben
let's
Johnson,
find
but it's not like
let's find somebody from the
Jimmy,
McVay tree.
But Jimmy, you just said
Let's find a
there's
Shanahan guy.
Hold on, but you just said, Jimmy, there's no Ben Johnson out there that everyone's like, "No, this is the guy we got to go get."
I agree with your point. He wasn't to that. Yeah, he wasn't to the Ben Johnson level, but it wasn't like he was a diamond in the rough. They just found out.
No, I know, but
like,
what I'm
he
saying
had success.
What I'm saying is, just because right now I can't go look at the NFL landscape and say that's the guy I want, that doesn't mean that Matt LaFleur has to be your guy. This is the job of Brian Gutekunst and Ed Policy to go find that next guy.
Well, and if they
that's fair. I fall into I'd rather bet on 6. We're still 5-3-1, so I don't want to say this year's a failure yet. The offense is struggling, yes, but like, take this year out of it, I'd still rather bet on the successful 6 seasons we had under Matt LaFleur and ride with that again and think we can regain where we were than try to find a new head coach and think it can spark this team to a Super Bowl when, I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I get what you're saying, I guess, but I'd rather ride with what I've seen and the success we've had.
I feel like with the coaching cycles, you go through the years where like there's up and coming coordinators or it's a year of retread head coaches. And this feels, with Liam Cohn getting a job last year, with Ben Johnson getting, like, this feels like the year that it's going to be a lot of retread head coaches that are just sitting out there looking for a job that are going to get hired. And there's not a ton out there that I'm super interested in.
I'm just saying I don't need to see it. I don't need to see it anymore to know that to feel like, for me, I've seen the ceiling of Matt LaFleur. I'm ready to try something new. Jimmy or Todd, who would you like to have pay the tab?
The stupid fucking Giants, because
Jameis
should have been playing all goddamn year. That 1 second of Russ. Yeah, Jackson Dart was fun, but again, you can't let a coach who's coaching for his job use a guy like Jackson Dart and expect him not to get killed. Jameis Winston was the answer. And instead of playing him all year and letting him be the fun Jameis of old that we could all just kind of get a chuckle out of and laugh at, he's getting the start against the Packers. And the Giants have been a bugaboo of ours for a while. And Jameis is just one of those quarterbacks that you're like, he's somehow going to have a really good game, and it's not going to be funny. There's going to be so many funny Jameis moments, and it's not going to be funny. So fuck the Giants for that. And also, fuck all of this, because really to pay the tab is Jimmy, you fucking coward. Because you thought that I would forget that we told you so many times.
I love when he gets angry.
Jerseys.
You can't
Stop buying jerseys. And what did you do? No. I'll buy it. It'll be fine. Tucker Kraft will be fine. And
I
and
bought
is he
that
fine?
his
And
rookie
is he
year.
fine? It doesn't matter. We're seeing that
He's still on his rookie contract. This is on you, Jimmy.
Knows no ends, and it will never die. And you have to stop buying jerseys. And who is the most recent jersey that you bought?
I don't want to say it.
Go walk into the ocean and do not stop.
Listen, I have a Quay Walker
Respectful.
jersey. He's playing well. I have a Michael Parsons jersey.
That's what you
He's playing
fucking
well.
said. That's what you said about Tucker Kraft, you son of a bitch.
I bought it 3 years ago. There's no way this
So
is
you
on
have
me at
you
this
bought a
point.
Quay Walker jersey. He's playing himself out of a contract in Green Bay.
Mhm.
Thanks. You bought Micah Parsons. Cool. We just talked about how we're wasting the first 3 seasons of him. because Matt LaFleur
No,
is
we
going to have
did
a
not talk
losing
about
record
that.
next year.
Dan talked about that. Don't switch sides now just for this argument, Todd. No, I
We
will
all
not.
had the
The
conversation.
jersey curse is gone. I made a smarter decision in not buying people on their last year of their deal. It's worked out. Things happen.
It's worked out.
I will not
It
take
worked
the
out
blame
great
on
for
this.
Tucker Kraft. I'll let Tucker Kraft know that it's working out just fine for you.
He did well last year, and he did well before.
Cool. Yeah, that's great.
I'm not taking it. It's not on me.
His
And
legs
then-
are
and
traction
then-
right now.
And then to not even show up last week and
take
know-
credit
The
for it.
Wi-Fi
And-
was down, and I
Sure,
sent you the
yeah.
screenshot that my
You
hotspot
sent me a
was.
screenshot that you've been using the shit out of your hotspot.
Go to a fucking McDonald's or
the Wi-Fi's
Starbucks
down.
and get on the internet, you coward.
You guys want me to do it in my car? Just with hope it works out.
Yes.
Oh, okay, my bad. Next time I got you. That's on me. I didn't know that's the standard.
We want
I'll do
you to
that next
give
time.
a
Do you
fuck,
think
Jimmy.
we have standards around here?
No, we never did.
Guys, as much as Jimmy fucks up, Jimmy knows one thing that you cannot do.
Can't take.
You can't take the Broncos.
lightly.
Like Jimmy, I'll say it because I have a real internet. You can't take
my
the
bad.
Broncos lightly. Can't do it. We're what, like 3-4 weeks away from that actually being a
Can we
like a
let it go after that?
real thing? Yes, I feel like that needs to be the end of it. Let's jump into some bar bets courtesy of Prize Picks. Not sponsored, but from Prize Picks. Christian Watson, over under his longest reception being 20.5 yards against the Giants this week. Jimmy, I'll let you start it off.
$5 Bakhtiari's over. Big play machine. I feel like since he's come back, he's had over 20-yard reception, so he'll continue it. Don't let it hit your helmet. Don't play defense. We got it.
Todd?
I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiari's over, and will you let me wager another 5 Bakhtiari's to go? It'll be over 30 yards.
No. I'll let you do it if you get relatively close to what his dad's tweet is after he catches it.
I'm blocked. I don't know what it is. I don't know his vibes lately. I haven't been following. I don't know what his mood is. All right, no, we'll keep it at 5 over then.
Okay. I will go. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I'll give you, Dan, say no to this. I'll give you 2 extra Bakhtiaris if it's over 40.
No.
All right,
No,
coward.
Oh, I was gonna say yeah. I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiari's over as well because that seems to be the one play Christian Watson is like guaranteed for every single game, at least a shot at it. So hopefully, fucking Brandon McManus, over under 1.5 field goals made. I'll start it off 5 Bakhtiari's under. Fuck that guy. Give me Lucas Haversick. Todd?
5 Bakhtiari's over. 2 field goals isn't much. He can make
His name's Brandon McManus. Kind of is.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Jamie?
Yeah, I'm following Todd. I think we struggle. I forgot who tweeted it out, but we'll get within there like 45. I think we've only in the last like 4 games we only scored like 20 points within that. So touchdowns haven't been really our thing lately. The run defense of the Giants not the best. I think we'll get close enough that McManus can't screw it up. So I think he'll get 2.
Where did you say, Jimmy? How close?
I think like within their opposing 45-yard line.
Because we punted from the 40 because we couldn't trust Brandon McManus to kick a fucking field goal.
Yeah, but that's where my part of like their run defense is bad. We could maybe get to the 30 and we're good.
Carolina's run defense was fucking bad. And I don't fucking
Okay,
Jordan,
I'm sorry for being optimistic, Dan. I'm sorry for
Yeah,
trying to gain bar bets on this.
it's really bringing me down, honestly.
My bad.
Jordan Love, over under 30 pass attempts. Todd, start with you.
Five Bakhtiari's over. I think I'm going to be hopeful that this was the loss that wakes up this offense and Matt LaFleur unleashes Jordan Love a little bit. Part of me wonders if some of the conservative play calling doesn't come from just not having the confidence in the guys to go make the plays and to do what they need to do. And at some point, you just have to let them be football players and hope they go do their job. So I think that's this week. He lets them air it out a little bit, throw the ball all over the place. Five Bakhtiari's over.
Jimmy?
I am going to stall while I bring up last week's passing attempts.
I'm
going to
trying
go
to-
over. Yeah,
I figured that's what you were both doing. That's why I kept trying to talk, because you guys were both sitting there not paying attention, just looking down at your phones.
I was doing a little side eye. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I'm with Todd. I'm fully believe like Love. We put him in weird spots where it's like in the first half he had barely any pass attempts, and then in the second half it's like, okay, we're in a hole, figure it out. I just want to see a game where we let him cook from the beginning, and I hate to say that because I feel like now we're in like Russell Wilson territory of like let Russ cook, but I just want a game plan, even if we have to do quick pass because they're in a too high safety giving us the middle of the field. Clearly the run game's not working. Let Love throw it. So hopefully, like Todd said, this is a game that kind of wakes it up and we just see a Jordan Love centric offense instead of trying to play off a run game that isn't working. So 5 Bakhtiari's over.
Yeah. I mean, 5 Bakhtiari's over. He's had over 30 pass attempts the last 3 games. Yeah. I mean, I want these pass. What I want is I want these pass attempts to come at the right moments. I want them to come when they're not coming off of a
You got to
Josh
stop
Jacobs.
saying
Come. I don't want it. I don't want it coming off of 2nd and 10 and 3rd and 8 when it's a Josh Jacobs handoff up the middle that goes for 2.5 yards every single time. Like, let him throw the ball on first down. Let it start running more the play action again. I think last week I saw they ran play action the last couple times. Like the last couple weeks, they've run play action the least amount of times this season, last 2 weeks in a row.
So
you've got to get back to doing it.
I forget who it was that tweeted it out, but in the first 5 weeks, the Packers were like 5th in efficiency off the play action. And since then, they're 29th in play action usage.
Yeah.
So hey, here's the thing that's working. Let's quit.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's not good for a Matt LaFleur Love, honestly.
No.
Does Bo Melton get his pass breakup this week?
Defensively?
Like a defensive pass breakup?
I don't think so. I'm gonna be real honest. No.
Can I say I'm this is my first week. I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiari's over on this. I think he hits it.
I'm being so pissed if you hit
I'm
I'll die.
I'm gonna be. I don't care if I come in last this year.
I mean, you've got a big enough lead. You can do it.
That's I'm kind of in the nihilistic territory here now. Yeah. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us on Lombardi's Bar tonight. Everyone in the chat, keeping it real, keeping it live. Thank you for doing that. Make sure you're following the show at Lombardi's Bar. Subscribe, rate, review the show on YouTube if you haven't done so already. The 3 of us on the socials right there in the white little bubble. Make sure you give us all a follow. For producer Matt behind the scenes, for everybody in the chat, for Jimmy, for Todd, I'm your bartender Dan saying cheers, and as always, go Pack Go.